Okay, so welcome to my Footwork class. We're going to go over a bunch of things depending on how far we get. Hopefully we're going to start with fundamental body mechanics of how we develop power with our legs and our core while moving. And then we're going to get into some actual Pel drills to do to help you improve your footwork. And then, depending on how much progress we make, we'll actually get into at least light armor and work on some person-to-person drills. Okay? All right. So, so when we first talk about building power with our legs and our core, okay? Really, we want to start from the ground up. Okay? So the simplest way to develop power is what's called a frame weight transfer, right? All I'm doing is shifting my weight from one foot to the other. Can you grab me one of those gladiuses? Thank you. So, when I don't do anything, versus just shifting my weight forward. I'm not shifting my weight beyond my front foot, right? Because one of the most key concepts in footwork is our balance, right? We never want to be extended past the point where we are in control of the motion of our bodies. But you can see that just by shifting my weight forward onto my front foot, I'm adding a ton of power into my shot. Okay? Now I weigh about 200 pounds, and I'm moving forward about 3 to 6 inches. But that's putting 200 pounds behind my shot as it moves forward 3 to 6 inches. Okay? That adds a ton of momentum to my blow. The second way that we develop power with our legs is what's called a volta. Right? This has to do with what's called medial and medial rotation. Okay? So I'm going to start with my shield leg forward. Okay? I'm in a bladed stance right now. So when I'm addressing my target, I want to have a line that goes from my back heel, the back of my heel, the instep of my foot to my target. Okay? Now, my back foot is pointed off at a 45 to 90 degree angle, and I'm going to sit on the balls of my feet, okay? And the back foot is going to rotate, so the heel comes out, and my feet come parallel to each other. And this is what's called a volta, okay? And we're going to go through a whole bunch of different variations of this. But one of the things that we don't want to do is we don't want to rotate past parallel. And I want you to all try this right now so you can feel what this is like. You see how now you are wobbling, right? You want to consistently get to the point when you rotate that you are coming parallel, but not beyond that point, right? We always want to stay on the balls of our feet the entire time. Nope, rotate your ankle there. Now you're coming out far enough, okay? So, for example, when we are throwing a flat snap, right, I'm going from a bladed stance into what's called a box stance, right? A box stance is my feet are parallel to each other, right? And when I do this, you see how my hip is rotating forward? Boom, okay? Now, on the converse of this, when I throw an offside, it is the reverse. I get power not by going from a bladed stance into a box stance. I get power from going to a box stance into a bladed stance. Now you see how this is pulling my shield hip forward, right? So when I get power here, okay? Now we are going to go ahead and grab a sword. If you're used to using these, you can use one of these. If you are not, just grab one of the rattan swords. Yes. So why don't you come over here?
I noticed that with your stance you're doing shield foot forward. What about if you're doing sword foot forward?
We will get to that.
Okay.
Like I said, there are tons and tons of variations that we are going to talk about. Okay? So you have your shield foot forward, put your sword out so that you are, nope, you need to move in closer so that you are hitting with the sweet spot of the sword. Perfect. Right there. Okay? Now, with your foot, you're going to rotate and let your hip turn. Okay, again. Okay, so you're starting with because you're starting here, your hip isn't having enough space to travel. So start here and let the sword drop and extend it out. Okay? But one of the keys with doing this is, Casey, just a second, is when you do this, you want your legs to go before your shot develops. Okay? Because what happens, just a second, is if I start throwing a shot before my hip engages, my hip is just chasing my shoulders, right? It's not driving my shoulders. To develop power with my legs, it has to start from my legs, okay? Yes! How much better that felt, just like that? Okay, again.